Yo, hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday, not Monday. It's Tuesday today. Happy Tuesday. Welcome in, y'all. Glad to have you here. Happy to have you here. Very proud and honored and blessed to have you here. Thank you for being here, everybody. We're back after that super long stream that we had over the weekend. We raised a lot of money for Children's Wisconsin. Thanks to all of you. So thank you for those that were here. It's a great time. Old Man Wiggum's here, and he was here then as well. Welcome in, Old Man Wiggum. Hope you're having a good night. We're gonna do some podcasting and then probably some Apex, and then tomorrow's exciting. So tomorrow, Big Mike and I are gonna get together and we're gonna try to finish up It Takes Two, which is a game that we started very late in our extra life. Let's see, it would have been about 2 o'clock or so in the morning that we started to play It Takes Two. Carried us on through the rest of the stream, so that was a lot of fun. Hey Emily, welcome in. Happy Tuesday to you. So tomorrow night we're gonna play It Takes Two and hopefully finish that guy up. Lovely game. I freaking love it. I am better now than when you last saw me. Well, the good news for Old Man Wiggum is that YouTube did not save that stream, so nobody else is gonna get to see how that one chip challenge went, but I sure as hell remember. And if I really wanted to, I do have camera footage from outside, but we're not going to talk about that. Oh, hey, look at that guy. You're not an asshole. We're just going to get rid of that guy. How do I get rid of that guy forever? That's the question. But hide user on this channel. No. Report. We already reported it, but how do I block this guy? Who is that person? Can I even see who that person is? I guess not. Well, you know, some people. Thank you, Emily. I appreciate that. I reported all 3 of them for hate speech. I just want to ban him, but I can't see a username. Oh, that must be his username right there. Let me see if we can ban him in Stream Elements. Chatbot. Users, maybe? No, I don't know. I'll leave that to Wiggum to work out. How to block channels, how to block a commenter. That's what we want to do. Hide user from channel is apparently what we need to do. So hide user from on this channel. All right. So we should be good then. I'm gonna send you a link, Wigs, in Discord. That's what I used. I used the block a commenter, so that should probably take care of it. Cool. All right. Well, welcome back in after that slight distraction. Let me see if I got B over here. I do. So let me open up that thing. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to do that right there. And then we're going to click on you. And then I'm not on mute, so B should be able to hear me. B, can you hear me?
Oh, I've heard that there's been drama.
Yeah, well, we got somebody who's an asshole in chat, and it's not Old Man Wiggum.
Yeah, and then I had to log in on my phone to see what was going on, and I was like, oh, I see that our friends from northern Wisconsin have showed up into the chat tonight.
Right, yeah. Old Man Wiggum, no, Extra Life stream did not save. It turns out that longer streams generally don't. Apparently 12 hours is a limit on YouTube, which I did not know. So it shows that a stream is out there, but there's nothing, you can't watch it. So lesson learned for next year. Next year I'll just have to save it locally and then probably chop it up into smaller bits and then upload it again, or I'll probably do that and then make clips and stuff out of that. So unfortunate.
Or just do like
revelation.
a 12 and 12 where like you do 10 to 10 and then you take your break, and then when you come back you just restart it.
Yeah, I think I'll probably just record the whole thing and then just chop it up and re-upload it. I think that's probably the easiest way.
Makes sense. Can you share your OBS with me, please, sir?
I can do that. Should be coming
Look at
through.
that. Get to see that nice, beautiful face.
That's right.
I wish that I could see that neck tattoo, but I'm guessing
it's gone.
that's gone.
There's
The
a little
neck
bit of an
tattoo,
outline, but
It
I
was
don't know
so
if you can see
beautiful. I loved it. It was great.
it. Yeah.
It was wonderful. It worked out just how I hoped.
I might have recorded a few minutes of the broccoli bits. Yeah, the tattoo was legit. I got to admit, that was legit. And I can kind of see, I still got the one that I believe it was Emily put on my hand here. There's a little bit of glitter. That's about all that's left. It didn't come off perfectly. And I think the neck is about the same. I've been kind of playing with it and trying to scrape it off.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So what do you say
so
we...
what were the final colors? What were the final colors?
Oh, final colors. I don't think I've got... Oh, I do have it. Here we go. Oop, nope. We want to move this one. So when we did the stream, we had every single person who donated. They got a vote. Every dollar that they donated got a vote. And the top 2 vote getters were the hair dyes that I am going to dye my hair. The number 1 vote getter goes on my head. Number 2 vote getter goes on my beard. So for those who weren't around for the end of that stream, the number 1 vote getter, the color that is going on my head is... Wait, I think I have a drum. No, I don't. The Aurora Green. Aurora Green is going on the head.
That was nominated by yours truly, I think, too. Wait,
Was
no,
it?
I went with yellow. No, I went yellow, I think. Yeah, I went with the yellow and then so I'm sorry for taking credit for something that I didn't do. But I love the green.
And then number 2, the beard, orchid purple. So we're going green and purple.
That's a very sconzy look there.
Yeah, I think it'll
like
work. Unable to see it on stream. What do you mean you can't see it on stream? I can see it on mine.
When is this happening, I guess, is the real question.
I got it ordered, so I just need to work with my buddy's wife is going to do it for me, so I just have to find the time over probably the course of the next couple weeks. We'll get together.
Nice.
I mean, with the holidays, it might get pushed back too. I'm not sure, but I've got it on its way. Historical Gamer wants to know where number 3 vote getter goes. Well, we're going to send that to you, Gamer, and you get to dye your hair the number 3 vote getter. Which I don't even remember what it was. I think it was True Lust, maybe. Might have been the True Lust one. So yeah, there we go. Number 3 goes in an unmentionable place. So yeah, with that, let's go ahead and move on to the podcast stuff. Let me... There we go. Everybody can see Brian's pretty face. There he is. Do I have the wheel there? I do. I don't think that's the right wheel though. Where's the other wheel? Did I close the wheel? Oh no, it's right here.
I don't know. Do we have to drink more sodas? Is that what you're saying?
Oh
Is it
God,
time
no.
for more
No
mustard
more.
soda?
No more soda. My God, that was disgusting. I think I've still got like 4 of them over here too. All right, updated
I think the
wheel.
next time that, well, unfortunately, apparently Sam Darnold is injured now, so
Oh, that's a shame.
we'll have to do like every time Jared Goff is shown on Red Zone turning the ball over, we take a shot of whatever terrible soda it is.
That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
I mean, it's a horrible idea, but it's kind of funny.
I should go see. I don't remember which ones. We got dirt and grass yet. We haven't tried those.
Did you
Black
end up
licorice we
getting
did
into
not do.
Dragon Fizz?
No,
Okay.
we did not do that one.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any more left. Might just be the 3.
Yeah, it might just be those.
I'll tell you, even before I went to sleep after streaming for 25 and a half hours, I dumped out those old the fucking bottles that we already used, took that shit straight out to the recycling bin. I didn't want that in my house for a second longer. Food Wheel has been retired. It doesn't exist anymore. It was deleted. It was burned in my fire pit. I don't have a fire pit, but you know. Enchilada. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, I've still got enchilada too. Oh man. Yeah, we might have to bust these out at some point. Yeah. All right. Why don't we go ahead and jump into this, B? It looks like Historical Gamer is very excited about the NFL draft and slavery.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna use that one, and I got this one. It is Tuesday and not on Monday. Until next year, Food Wheel. What do you say we just jump into this?
Sure.
All right. Hello and welcome to We Random episode 57, recording on Tuesday, November 9th, 2021. Hey B, you know, normally I start these podcasts off with a dad joke. I was going to actually tell you a time traveling joke, but you guys didn't like it. Back after this.
Almost Qualified Productions. We're 3 beers in. Time for you to catch up.
Welcome to We Random, episode 57, Daylight Savings Time Edition. I'm Brian, that's Christopher, and even though we had another hour to think about it, our joke still didn't get any better. However, we are here for you, our loyal listeners, loyal viewers, to give you a wonderful podcast today. We've got our Wheel of Doom, we've got some topics, we've got things to talk about, from immunization to Twitter to whatever else is on that wheel that we're going to figure out as we go along, right? So before we get started today, Sconzi, do you have any wonderful words for our people, or should we just get right into the Getting Mad Online?
Well, if anybody ever tries to give you durian candy, just say no. Just say no.
I mean, I tried that this weekend, but then I had some, and you know, I took multiple pieces of it right to your garbage, which probably now just smells like durian candy.
It probably does. Why don't we spin this wheel and give it a shot? What do you say?
All right, let's go, brother.
By the way, Wiggum, thanks for the reminder. I did not record, so we'll have to deal with that later. We're going to talk about Twitter Blue.
All right, so is Twitter your boy Blue? I guess we're gonna find out. Because Twitter Blue is a new monthly subscription that gives Twitter's most loyal customers exclusive access to premium features and app customizations for a small fee, of course. Right now, Twitter Blue is being tested on iOS and Android and web in Canada, Australia, and now in the US and New Zealand? Did I miss this?
Nah, you did. It just came out today.
All right. Well, no one told me, but for $2.99 a month, Twitter Blue allows you to have ad-free articles, bookmark folders, custom app icons, custom navigation, reader mode, themes, and the ever-elusive undo tweet. So, for that guy who was in our chat before, he can put that out there and then delete it, and then the internet will still know, because the internet remembers fucking everything.
That's pretty much true, yeah.
Sconzi.
Yeah.
Have you already subscribed?
I did. Not subscribe to this, no.
Oh, I thought you really had, because that seems like something you totally would do.
No, I don't hate this, though. I mean, Twitter has pretty much never made money, so, you know, if they're going to exist, they have to start making money somehow. A lot of people are ticked off because this is the closest that they've had to an edit button on their tweets. It's not even an edit button. Basically what it does is it's a built-in countdown that when you publish, it gives you a countdown for like 30 seconds where you can decide not to tweet. I mean, you would think that you could just take an extra 20 seconds before you click the tweet button and reread it and make sure that you want to send that. But no, apparently that's not really the thing. So I think that's what a lot of people are up in arms about is we've been asking about this forever and now you're going to charge people for it. Well, that's kind of how this thing works. You know what I mean? Like people wanted a special stereo in their car. And instead of the car manufacturers just giving it to you, like, sure, we'll put it in there, but it's going to cost you an extra $500. That's just how this stuff works. You know what I mean? And
oh, go ahead.
No, go for it. What do you got?
I was going to say, I am going to channel The Simpsons Mayor Quimby. There are major corporations sponsoring this event. So to get what you want, you got to pay for it. So I definitely 100% agree with you there.
Yeah, I mean, they need to make their money. I get that, right? And they're collecting data and they're selling data just like everyone else, but not nearly as egregiously as Facebook. You don't pay for Facebook, but you're perfectly okay with them stealing all your goddamn data. I prefer not doing that as much as possible. And $3 a month is, I mean, people, you spend more than that on a fucking cup of coffee, for God's sake, right? It's really not that big of a deal. If this is something that you would get use out of. There was one article that I was reading and I did not copy that one into here, but it really said that when they trialed this, they found that there were a couple main groups that most people who signed up for this fell into. And the one that jumps out at me, the only one that really kind of, I think one was someone with a super, super, super huge following, like millions of people following them. I think the other one was corporate accounts or something like that. And the third one was people who love to read news, which I love to use it for. Because it's going to give you some ad-free articles. Now, it's not going to give you access to articles that you otherwise wouldn't have. So, for instance, Historical Gamer posts out there this article on the Washington, the Washington Post?
Washington
and
Post.
So I click on it, but I need a subscription. Twitter isn't going to allow me to read that. But if that is an article that's available for anybody, and normally they throw advertisings up there, if it's one of these groups or these places that Twitter has an agreement with, you're not going to see that advertising. And then in turn, they're going to funnel some of that money over to that organization. So which I don't think is a bad thing. I mean, we live in a world where news isn't really news anymore. And I think that anytime we have an opportunity to help out reputable news sources, it's important that we do that in any way that we can. Because they need to make money to survive. I mean, look how many newspapers have shut down, and now we're stuck with the garbage that we have all over the place. So, you know, I don't hate this. I think this is all right. I think it's a step probably in the right direction. And let's be honest, going back to the undo tweet, like Twitter is never going to allow you to edit a tweet, ever. Because what's going to stop me from putting a tweet out there that has some wholesome little kitty cat on there, and it says it's got some funny caption, and all of a sudden it goes viral, and 120,000 people are, you know, liking or retweeting or whatever. And then all of a sudden I edit my tweet and replace that image with what that jackhole who was saying in the chat before we started the recording this, right? Which for those who weren't here was some really horrible racist garbage. I wouldn't do that, of course, but some people might. A lot of people would, let's be honest, right? Because you're putting something out there that's going to gain attention and is going to run wild, and then you edit it to be something horrible. So that's just never going to happen. This might be a step in that right direction, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is interesting from like a social media management perspective. Like this would be great for like social media managers, because then you can file stuff away, and like if you're tweeting stuff out like really quick, like, oh, you know, instead of like misspelling this thing, like we can double check that, and then that gets fixed. And it's kind of how all of those like weird tweets go viral, where it's like, oh, they misspelled something and it's kind of funny. So like this is, you know, good for those kind of folks. For me, I don't do anything right now. I work, and then I work out, and then I go to bed, and then I do it all again. So like, I don't know that I would get the most out of this, but I still think for those who want it, cool, go get it, handle your business.
Yeah, I think the closest thing that would make it worthwhile for me is probably the like the reader stuff that they're going to have that makes reading newspapers and stuff like that a little bit easier. That's about the only thing I would have. Gamer has a very interesting historical tidbit here. apparently he's more than just a historical gamer. They should call this feature the Abraham Lincoln, because he was famous for writing letters off the cuff, then putting it in his desk and pocketing and never sending the letter when he thinks better of it. That's, if only we worked that way in the Twitterverse. I'm spinning the wheel, B. Oh, you got some?
Well, no, I was just gonna say, for once, we're okay with the ZE feed me of the week.
That's true. Let's hit it.
Zeke Elliott, feed me of the week.
I'm spinning the wheel. All right, we're gonna talk about COP26. I don't know what this is. Was this my article? Did I put this in there?
Nope, I put this in there.
Oh, okay.
So,
I should have read it.
COP26, which is the world's biggest climate change conference, had some individuals criticizing the event this year, but not for a reason you might think. Given the clamor to reduce global greenhouse gas emissions, you might expect that a climate change conference would opt for eco-friendly menus. Instead, the menu at COP26 in Glasgow was almost 60% meat or dairy, with dishes labeled as high carbon at almost every food stand. On the online menu, a statement is made that to reach the goals of the Paris Agreement, we need to get the carbon footprint of food down below 0.5 kilograms per meal. By including climate labels on our menus, we aim to make it easier to achieve that goal together. So, one particular meal that people took umbrage with was the Haggis, Neeps, and Tatties menu option, which used 3.4 kg of carbon to produce, according to the conference's rating system, which is double the carbon footprint of the average meal in the UK and nearly 7 times higher than that 0.5 kg target. Now, here is your clickbait headline. Joel Scott Halkies, a spokesperson for Animal Rebellion, said this utterly reckless inclusion of meat, seafood, and dairy on the menu is a damning indictment of the UK government's utter failure to grasp the root cause of climate crisis. It's like serving cigarettes at a lung cancer conference. As long as such illogical decisions are being made, the climate emergency will never be resolved. So, I thought that this was interesting because we've talked a little bit about climate change stuff. We haven't gone like way deep on the podcast. We have in real life, but I thought that this was interesting, right? Like, I feel like the approach of like, here's our menu, here's what this means. Like, I think that in some ways that's good. Like, I don't necessarily expect them to just go, snap, okay, now everyone eats a salad because that's only 0.2 kgs, right? But like telling people, like, look, this is a meal that you like. Here's how bad it is for you. It's kind of like when every menu in America had to start listing the caloric intake of that food. Like, oh no, you know, the Big Mac has this many calories, or oh man, if I get a small shake, it's this many calories. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I feel like is a good way to baby step to where we want to be, because what I personally feel is like change is hard for people. So to all of a sudden like make these people go to a conference and be like, nope, all you get is like, you know, this gloop that is not bad for the environment. Like then people are gonna be like, oh, well, that I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I don't think the labeling of stuff on the menu is a bad thing, right? Awareness is one of the biggest ways that we make any kind of impact on anything. Because if people aren't aware of what the impact is that they're having, how can they ever want to change or need to change or, you know, have any desire to change? So I think that's fine. But I also think that this is a very, a very big sign of the hypocrisy that we've got going on. Just like, you know, there's like 400 private jets that flew into this conference and a bunch of people with their big private yachts flying it, you know, rowing into this conference. I mean, these people who are like, they're supposed to be coming here to talk about how we help cure the climate shit show that we're in the middle of. And all they're doing is putting a great big bullseye in their back on exactly what part of the fucking problem is. And like, that's probably the biggest takeaway of everything, is that it's just, Do you want to see why? Part of the reason why we have this problem? Well, look at these people who are the ones who are supposed to be trying to solve this. Like, give me a fucking break. But again, a lot of it comes down to awareness, and beyond that, I mean, gamers talking about science, yeah, but you know, half of our country at least doesn't even believe science, for God's sake, and they fight against it at every turn. So I don't know. I'm incredibly pessimistic about all this. You know, it touches on one of the other topics that we've got on the wheel here, and the way that the political climate is starting to shift, and you know, shit's never going to get better. But at least we got awareness.
Well, my whole thing with this is like I feel like we live in this microwave society, right? Where everybody's like, I want what I want right now. And it's like, ow, I just hurt my thumb again. I hurt my thumb off stream and now I've hurt it again. But like we need to stop living in the microwave society because change generally doesn't happen that quickly. And we can't just give up if we don't get the change that we want. We have to take the small milestone. So like I looked at this article and at first I was like, yeah, like I get what they're saying, but I also think that that would be a substantial shift if all of a sudden like restaurants in America were saying like, here's the carbon footprint of the meal that you're eating. Like 80% of the people wouldn't care, but maybe like 20% of people would care. And getting 20% of people to care is a lot better than the percentage of people who cares right now.
Yeah, it's you know, nothing this big is going to be solved overnight. You know, it's going to take time. So, but it's kind of like you know, my dieting. I need to lose weight. I have a lot of health problems, and what do I keep telling Brian? Yeah, I'm going to work on it. But you know, and I bought all these frozen pizzas. I can't just throw them away. I got to eat the frozen pizzas. No, don't be a fucking asshole. Like eating frozen pizza isn't helping you lose weight. It's not helping you be healthy. You got to make
What's going to happen on? Save those for Sunday.
There we go. Maybe we'll do that. All right, I'm spinning the wheel. Gamers going off about China and India, though. Oh boy, B. It's time.
Is it here? Is it time?
It's time. The Wee Random Dick of the Week.
All right, so we get to talk about friend of the show, everyone's favorite Green Bay Packers quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. So, Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers tested positive for COVID-19 this past week. What truly surprised many was the fallout from Rodgers' positive test. While Rodgers had previously stated that he was immunized, that did not mean that he has received a COVID vaccine. In fact, he is unvaccinated. So, there's a lot, and I mean a lot, to unpack in this situation. And I wanted to start with that very general description because those of you who are like Wisconsin sports fans probably have been inundated with all of this. Those of you who are not, hi Emily, you know, we tried to give you like the big picture. He's their quarterback. He is unvaccinated. Being unvaccinated in the NFL basically has more restrictions on when he can come back to the team, because what the NFL Players Union and the ownership group agreed to is that for unvaccinated players, they needed to follow very specific protocols in their buildings, in their interactions with the media, in how long they need to be away from the team if they either are a close contact for someone who has COVID or if they themselves test positive for COVID. So Rodgers' decision to be unvaccinated means that he has to miss at least 10 days, which could lead to him missing not one, but 2 games. However, there's more.
There's always more.
Because back in August, when someone asked him if he were vaccinated, he said, I'm immunized, and left it there. However, what that actually meant is that he and his medical team came up with a plan that he would do some homeopathic COVID protections because he stated that he's allergic to an ingredient in the mRNA vaccines, and he did not want to take the Johnson & Johnson because of the clotting issues that were experienced by some individuals in the spring. I'm trying really hard not to yell, Sconzi. Do you want to yell, or how do we want to approach this?
I don't know that I'm going to yell, which means I probably will at some point.
So
there's so much. You know, I've always been a big Aaron Rodgers fan. Brian, I think, inaccurately tried to call me out for standing up for Rodgers in the offseason when everybody else hated him because the guy was trying to take care of his mental health. Although, I wonder how much of the offseason drama had to do with him not wanting to take the COVID shot. I'm going to throw that out there. I think first of all, he made a really stupid fucking decision. He made a very selfish decision. And like the one thing, like he made some really good points. I listened to that first podcast and he made some really good points. Everybody should have a right and they should have a say as to what happens with their body. They should be in charge of that. I 100% agree with him. But the part that he continued to not understand and not see and not admit and not grasp, despite the fact that this is at least a semi-intelligent person, is that his decisions are impacting other people, right? That's not okay. That's the issue. And on top of that, he kept walking around and prancing around, you know, going to interviews without wearing a mask, because why would he wear a mask? He is immunized. He gave off that impression. He misled people. He lied to people. So he doesn't need a mask because he's vaccinated when he knew he wasn't. When I'm guessing other people in the organization knew that he wasn't. And yet he still did that. This wasn't a one moment in time, I slipped up and said something and then I just kind of left it alone. This was a deliberate act over months and months and months to come up with a plan, to come up with a lie, and to continue to play that out over the course of the season so far. He just kept piling it on and piling it on and piling it on. And then when he came out, said all the shit that he did last week, he comes back out today. And I didn't get a chance to watch this one yet, but here's some quotes. He said, quote, "I made some comments that people might have felt were misleading." No, motherfucker, you lied to people. You lied to people. He continues, "To anybody who felt misled by those comments, I take full responsibility for those comments." Well, I hope so. You fucking said them, dude. Like, what? Like, this is such ass. And then he goes on, where was the other quote? "I'm an athlete. I'm not an activist." The guy was fucking activisting all over that fucking first podcast. He was telling people what to do with their medical decisions. He was telling people what medicines he's using. I mean, he was championing Dr. Joe Rogan, as Heidi put in the chat. Like, that's all he was doing, was being an activist on that fucking podcast. The guy clearly just misstepped time after time after time after time. He's just digging himself a deeper and a deeper and a deeper hole. I'm fucking done with him.
So here's where I'm at with this, right? So he starts his podcast by basically, I said this to you, and I'll say it on the air. I won't, because I don't want to make this into what he made it into. But he started by saying, you know, the woke media is coming for me. People are putting nails in my cancel culture casket and all of these things. He also talked about being oppressed, and he used a Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King quote to try to express how he, as a rich white man, is being oppressed because he chose, not born, chose not to be vaccinated.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's the thing that really, I mean, I yelled and screamed towards you, not at you. When you know, last week when this whole thing came about, like, motherfucker, you are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You are a rich white dude and you're trying to say that you're oppressed. Like, he actually used the word oppressed. And then you've got the balls to quote Martin Luther King Jr. after saying that you are oppressed as a rich white dude. Get all the way fucked off. All the way.
He comes in here and, he's talking about how the rules are draconian and things like that. But I watched, there was responded to that first McAfee interview that he did. And he's like, you are right, Aaron. You have autonomy over your body.
Mm-hmm.
But what you have to understand is that you made this choice and you actively chose not to follow these protocols in public. You actively chose not to fulfill your commitment, what you agreed to, what your league agreed to. You chose not to follow that because you didn't want people to know that you were unvaccinated. You did not want to take responsibility for your status. You did not want to have to answer the questions. You came out and said, I'm a critical thinker, because you're trying to imply that all of these other people who have decided to get vaccinated or who did decide to follow the procedures that your league has agreed to are not critical thinkers. You, sir, are not the one that's taking responsibility for things. And that is what bothers me. Did he raise some good points? Sure, he did. The NFL is as complicit as any other place of employment with, shady stuff. See, they're covering up of the Washington football team situation. There's something going on there. They're never going to tell us. You know why? Because money talks. But you know what? There's somebody richer than Aaron Rodgers. So that's why he's out here. There's somebody richer than John Gruden. That's why he's out, right? But he is trying to just spin this narrative, and it's just so disgusting. Because if he would have just come out in August and said, hey, this is my situation, period, we could have avoided all of this. And that's the comparison that I was trying to get at when we were texting about the stuff in the spring and the summer, because that's exactly what I said on that podcast. His silence and his not engaging in all of that is what helped this to grow. His situation and his choice right now to use that one word, immunized, and to never correct anyone is what led to all of this. Because if he would have just come out and been fucking honest about where he was, this wouldn't be a situation. But because he's like, oh, nobody needs to know nothing about me, I'm just going to be over here doing me. You don't need to know nothing about me. Now everybody's freaking out.
Yeah, and I think here's the thing. If he decides not to get the vaccine, that's his choice. It's a stupid choice in my mind, but that's his choice, right? But be honest about it. Instead, he wasn't. He lied and misled everybody. And that's the bigger issue. And then in doing so, how many other people did he put at risk through all of this, right? You don't get to make that choice. You don't get to make the choice as to whether or not you're going to get me sick. That's not your right. Not that I ever hang around there, Rogers, but and so that's really the crux of it, right? It was that decision. And there's a lot of comments here in the chat. It would have been less of a story if you just would have said, hey, I made this decision. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm not going to do. Yep. This is what I want to do for my body. Just say that. Mm-hmm. But I think part of the reason that he didn't do that is because he is traditionally very close, plays everything close to the vest, right? He doesn't, he's not all out there on social media. He doesn't do a whole bunch of interviews. He doesn't really talk to the media at all during the season, except for the podcast that he does now once a week. That's just kind of who he is, and that's fine. I don't think he owes us anything. If he doesn't want to talk to the media, I don't give a shit. But those few times when you do, if you lie, now all of a sudden it's an issue, right? So I understand why he didn't want to be, the Kirk Cousins of the NFL, because we saw how Kirk Cousins got dogged on all this, and who was the other one? Jared Goff, was that the one, or Carson Wentz?
It was one of them. Tannehill was out there. These are guys who are Darnold was out there.
They became, kind of poster children of this, and it wasn't a pretty situation. I understand why he wouldn't want to be that. I get that. But by making that decision, now you're making a whole lot of other issues, and of course lying about it just makes it worse.
Well, and that's what bothered me is that he admitted on the McAfee, that first interview, this was planned. He
Yeah.
planned to use the word immunized. And he said if anyone would have asked that follow-up question, then
Fuck that.
I would have. But that's the thing. Like, if he'd planned it out that far, he knew exactly that he was lying, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Don't give me that if somebody would have asked. No. All he's trying to do is push blame. It's not my fault. I just said immunized. If you would have questioned me about it, you would have gotten the truth. It's your fault. You won't. No.
Right.
You don't get to push that blame. This is on you, Aaron Rodgers. This isn't on anybody else.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the whole thing. And the easiest way that I can wrap this up, and I feel like this is the one thing that's not debatable, his choice to not get vaccinated is ultimately hurting the team because they will miss him for not one, but possibly 2 games. And that is not good.
Yeah. I think Gamer sums it up. He should run for office. That's how politicians lie by omission. And we all know that based on his stance on the vaccine, he would get half the votes. All right, I'm spinning the wheel. Well, Historical Gamer was hoping this one would come up. Let's talk about what does the NFL draft have to do with slavery? Do you have any idea on this one, B?
I do not, but it sounds like it has something to do with Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, Colin who? He's not even in the NFL anymore. He's no good.
So it sounds like Colin Kaepernick has a special on Netflix because, of course, he does. Everyone has a special on Netflix, right? But apparently, in this special, he compared the NFL Draft Combine to a slave auction, and that made people angry.
Imagine that.
It sounds like this is something where, you know, people online are mad and it's just kind of and it sounds like it's not something that's necessarily new, right? Because what the combine previously was before pandemic times is you bring a bunch of these athletes to Indianapolis, and I always hear it called the underwear Olympics.
Yeah.
Because these guys are out there in these like tiny shorts and like a cut-off t-shirt, and they're measuring you and they're poking you and they're interviewing you, and you have to run and you have to jump and you have to throw and you have to do all these things. And they're using these measurements to decide if they want to draft you. So, you know, I'm guessing that is the comparison.
Well, yeah,
which
Kaepernick
is making.
I've heard a lot of people kind of refer to it as like a cattle auction kind of thing, right? You bring all the cows in and you look at them. But then when you add that dynamic, and obviously you can tell, and in case it's not apparent, and I know that we don't want to make those assumptions, I am a white guy. I am not black in any way, shape, or form. But when you add the dynamic that a vast number of the individuals who are running around in their underwear and getting poked and prodded and measured are black, and the vast majority, probably all of the people doing the poking and prodding are old white guys, and all of a sudden, it certainly gives off that indication that mirrors what happened hundreds of years ago, whatever the case may be, hundreds of years ago, right? Yeah, like I get it. I understand where he's coming from. In this article, and I didn't put everything in the run sheet here, but there's been multiple different people who have written about this, who have talked about this. There's a couple players who've wrote books about this. There's a lot of people that see that comparison. And as soon as I haven't watched the special yet, I plan to, but I haven't yet. I did see a clip of it, and it's like when I saw that, I was like, wow, like I could totally understand kind of where that's coming from.
I mean, like I think that it's a little bit of an exaggeration. Like I can see where that's coming from, right? Because it's like they're basically looking at you as kind of this human specimen, right? Obviously, there's different pieces to it too, where it's like I can kind of see it. Also, I kind of see both sides of the situation where it's like, yes, I can see how it feels that way. But on the other end of the spectrum, it's also like, you know, this is kind of like a job interview. And if you're going to this job, or if it's like, say you work a physical job, like they might send you to a doctor to get a physical to make sure that you are physically fit and able to handle this job. And that's kind of how the NFL uses the scouting combine, because they have doctors there, and these doctors are testing you for heart conditions and this and that and the other. And then every once in a while, something will come out like, oh, Sony Michel's knee is like he's got the knees of an 85-year-old man. So you probably shouldn't draft him in the first round. And then someone does, and then
Yeah.
he's got icy hot and icy cold knees for his career. So, like, I think it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, no, I get that, and that's kind of what the comments in the chat are saying. Is like, you have the choice, right? You have a choice to go into the NFL. You don't have in slavery. You didn't have a choice. That's just what you were stuck with. Obviously, the NFL draft is not slavery, right? This was a metaphor, analogy that he was making as to the way that it felt for him as a black man going through the NFL draft. I sure as shit can't understand that, because I'm not black. I never have been, never will be, and I sure as shit wasn't in the NFL draft or the combine or whatever it is, and I never will be that either. But I think those are good points. I think that's fair, that it's different because you're not forced to be there. However, I also want to draw this comparison to outrageous demands that other employers make, right? Like, there's a lot of employers who will require you to give them your login to your Facebook account so they can see the stuff that you posted out there. Not only fuck you, but fuck you. You're not getting access to my stuff. That has nothing to do with you. You can't see that. Now, that means I'm not going to have a chance at that job, and that's fine, because I don't want to work for you. And there's a lot of other companies out there. But that doesn't mean that I should just be like, oh, well, you know what? It's okay. It's my choice. I can just move on. Sure, that's what I'm going to do, but that's still a wrong situation. Now, there's a lot more that goes into this. Is the way this handles in the NFL Combine, is it wrong? Is it slavery? Is it related to that? Whatever. I don't know all the answers to that, but I can certainly see how a young black man who is getting poked and prodded by a bunch of old white guys could feel that it relates to something similar to that. I can understand that.
Well, and I also think about it too. So as an example, when you're drafted in the NFL, you don't have a choice which team drafts you. You might be this young black man and, they're sending you to Massachusetts, or, somewhere where there's, 50 people who look like you and 49 of them are on the team with you, right? Like, that's also a consideration here in terms of like contracts and structures and all of those things. How that may be impacting this statement too is one of the things that I thought about.
Yeah. It's interesting. I need to watch the show and see kind of where he's coming from. I think, we all kind of have an idea as to the angle Kaepernick's coming from, and obviously he's got a chip on his shoulder, right? Because whether you agree that there was collusion to keep him out of the NFL, I think that there certainly was. Clearly him just trying to stand up for what he believes in and what he feels is right, which a lot of people think is right, I think is right, got him ostracized one way or the other. Whether there was collusion or not, that really led to, in a lot of ways, him not being in the NFL. And so, yeah, he's going to have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, right? I get that. And clearly he's gone pretty heavily into the activist side of things. I think that's kind of his calling at this point. So could he have potentially taken this further than maybe needed to go? Possibly. Was this used as a way of getting people's attention? I don't know, but if that's what it was, he sure as shit did that. So that's all I got.
All right. Well, how are you feeling on time? Do we want to try to get to one more of these stories? Do we want to move on to our extra special random rankings?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to move on if you are.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Well, let's move on then to
random rankings, which
this week has absolutely nothing to do with random or rankings. So, it's a little bit of a misnomer. I'll go ahead and introduce this because I kind of came up with this one because I was helping B out. B normally puts our run sheet together, but, work has been trying to strangle him through his computer. And instead of letting him deal with that and do the run sheet, I kind of put some stuff together. So kind of my thought was, And this is nothing new because I'm almost always in a not wonderful headspace. But of late, it's been pretty heavy on my mind, and I've been thinking about a lot of things on working onto that and how do we improve that. And it got me thinking, let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about happiness. Let's talk about getting into a better frame of mind, whatever the case may be, however you want to look at that. And so I jotted down, I grabbed a couple of different links, and I'll put those in the chat in case people want to kind of follow along or if they want to share their own, which I think would be great if we had a bit of a back and forth. These are just some simple articles. I just did a random Google search. Is it going to let me post that? No? You're not going to let me post it in my own chat? Like, what the fuck? I'll do one at a time, I guess. So this is just a simple Google search. I just looked for articles that were talking, about what are some things that people do to help you feel better, to get you in a better mind space, to help you feel happier, whatever the case may be. I thought this would be a decent jumping off point, and I thought that we could just have a discussion about what are the things that we are doing, that we have done, or maybe what are some of the ideas that we steal off of these lists and things that we want to put in place, in the near term, the next week, something like that. We chit-chatted about it very, very briefly earlier, and Brian kind of shared an idea that he has. I hope I'm not putting you on the spot by saying this, but
that's where I was going to go.
He talked about, kind of one of the things that he's been putting in place recently, and I was like, yeah, let's chat about that. Let's take, 10 minutes or something. We talk about mental health. We say that we're mental health advocates. Well, instead of drafting the best Thanksgiving dinner, which we'll probably do next week, let's take a couple minutes to talk about mental health. So, B, what's your take?
Well, my take on this is the number one place to start is to know yourself. So, in my 39 years of life, I have done a lot of introspection. I've learned a lot about myself. One of the things that I know about myself is that I am a completer. So anything that I take on my plate, I feel a very strong sense of responsibility to complete, to finish, to do. But oftentimes that is at the penalty of myself, right? Because I'm spending extra time to do it, or I'm stressing myself out, or I'm not getting enough sleep, or whatever it is that I'm doing. So, one of the things that I've tried to be more mindful of as I've gotten older is to manage my commitments in a different way. Like some people will say, oh, well, like maybe I can do that. Like we'll see, or whatever. Like I kind of have gotten to a point where I'm either like, yes, I'm doing this, or no, I'm not. So, as an example, today, when Sconzi and I were talking about the run sheet, I said, I will not be able to do anything in the run sheet. I will be available at 7 p.m. to do the podcast. Because that, in my brain, sets a very realistic expectation for what I need to do. I am not going to have time to, between all of these work meetings and things that I need to do, be in this run sheet. But I have set aside this time at 7 p.m. to be in our space where we're chatting with you. And as a completionist, if I've been like, well, maybe I'll see if I can get to the run sheet and whatever, and then when I didn't log off of my work computer until 6:05, I know that wouldn't have happened, right? Because at 6:05, I have to go do an hour worth of stuff in my house because I am not just this podcaster who yells online about things. I'm also a husband and a cat dad and all of these other things that I need to do. So as a completer, like I have tried to be very mindful of my commitments. And it was kind of funny because the last email that I sent of my work day as a request to say, hey, can you volunteer for this thing? And I sent an email. I'm sorry, based on the date and time of that, I cannot volunteer. I hope it goes great. And like the first time that I sent one of those emails, like I felt like a piece of shit. I was like, man, like this really sucks. Like, is this the right decision? Should I be doing this? And sending this email, I was like, nope, can't do it. Thanks. Bye. Doom. Like, I don't want to say that to like seem callous or to seem unwilling to like do stuff and try stuff, but I feel like it's so important to like know myself that if I were to have kept that door open, saying maybe I can do it, and then like everybody else replies no, and then like if I tell that person no at the end, then I really feel like the dick, right? So does that make sense, Gonzi? What are your thoughts on that?
No, I agree. I think, you know, the way you started that off is the important thing is you have to know yourself, right? You have to know, I think all of these things, you have to know yourself. You have to know what works for you. You have to know what you need to work on, or what isn't working the way you wanted to, and what are some things that you do like. So, you know, some of the things that I listed down through here when I was looking through these sites is, you know, exercise or eat healthy or check in with people or whatever it is that makes you happy. Just do more of that. But you have to know yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be true to yourself to be able to do some of those things. And I think your point of just saying no, sometimes you just have to say no. You know, there's a lot of times that people will send me meeting appointments well outside of my work hours, and every single one of those, it's an automatic tentative response, and I am not going to be there. It's just, I'm not going to be there. I'll respond tentatively, so it's on my schedule, but guess what? You're not going to see me there because that's outside of my time. If it's something that becomes super, super important, then maybe that's a different story. But if it's just a random weekly meeting, I don't know why I need to be there. Send me the notes and we can deal with it. And you have to be comfortable being able to say that. And, you know, maybe they'll come back and bite me in the ass sometime. I don't know. But, you know, I think that's important.
Yeah, I mean, and with that, I would even empower and encourage you to say no and to send them, it's like, hey, this is not part of my work time, because those are the kind of things that like weigh on you sometimes too. And like people are like, why weren't you at this meeting? What are we doing?
Yeah, maybe it weighs on you. It don't weigh on me. It's out of my
Well,
work
no,
time.
it
I'm
does-
done. I don't give a shit. Like, send me what you need and we'll move on from there. Because the meeting's probably a waste of my time anyway, to be honest. Sorry for anyone that I work with who's out there watching. Your meetings certainly are not a waste of my time. It's the other people's meetings. So some of the other things that I wrote down that again, because I'm tying this into who I am and what I know about myself and what things are important. And what are the things that just make me happy? That not necessarily if I'm in a mental funk, so to speak, but what are those things that just those small joys, those things that move me in the correct direction from a day-to-day kind of basis. And I got a list of like 10-ish things here. But the one that jumps out at me is music, man. Music just moves me. You don't want to see it move me because trust me, it's not a pretty sight, but music just gets me going. And a lot of times music will be a background thing for when I'm working, right? If I have that rare hour of time or whatever where I can actually just put my head down and get work done, you know, I always have music
Christmas
on.
Christmas music, right?
Christmas music starts the day after Thanksgiving, not a second before.
Nice.
But yeah, so I'll just turn music on and I'll just let it grab me and I'll dance around and I'll scream at the top of my lungs and I'll sing along. And it's great. It's one of those things that always moves me in that positive direction. And I think that's one of the things for me that always gets me moving in that direction is music. And the other thing that I think that this isn't something that I do. It's probably something I should do. And it's something that it's the first one that I listed on this list. And it's just really being present and focus on the things that you're grateful for. Because I could sit here and talk for our entire podcast about the shit that's going on that I'm not grateful for, about the shit that's not going the way that I want, about the stuff that irritates me and bugs me and bothers me and pisses me off. I could do that all day long. But what are the things I'm grateful for? You know, the fact that I've got a friend who wants to sit here and talk about stupid shit with me every week. You know, that you guys are there and actually want to listen to us talk about stupid shit every week. You know, these are things that I am extremely grateful for. This weekend, a bunch of you were there for this 25.5-hour stream I did like an idiot. And we raised now over $2,600 for Children's Wisconsin, which is insane. That's all because of you guys. So I am eternally grateful for all of that stuff. And I think all of us could stand to spend a little bit more time just looking at the things that we do have, the things that we take for granted. You know, the fact that I still have both my parents at my age is something to be very grateful for. A lot of people don't have that. And these are the things that I think it's important for us to take some time and really think about.
Yep. And, I agree with that. And I'm going to go back to more of this introspective stuff, like understand where things are in your life, right? Because for me, and I was explaining this to my wife, like as I was flying down the stairs to do this podcast, I was like, my life is going to be chaos until the first week of December. Reason for that, that's just kind of how my job is. Like my job has these big, peaks and valleys. Like there are weeks that don't tell anybody. Like there are weeks that like could I work on a run sheet on a Monday cuz no one wants to talk to me? Yeah. Are there weeks this week I can't answer all my emails. Like it's just not going to happen. And it's not going to happen until the first week of December, and then that's when things are going to like start to slow down a little bit. And that's what I just tell people, like I'm in this, like I want to do stuff, but from now until the first week of December, my life is going to be fucking insane, and I have to know that, and I have to be okay with that. So that's where like some of the things that you were saying, Sconzi, is like being transparent with people and trying to appreciate that like people in my life know this and are willing to like work with me and be like, okay, well, if we can't get together or we can't do X, Y, and Z, like I get it, like you're not being a dick or anything like that. Like those are the things that I think are important too, because everybody's work life is different. Like your work cycle is probably different than my work cycle.
Right.
And, Emily's work cycle is probably different than Z-Dub's work cycle. So like we all have to kind of coexist and figure it out together if we're gonna like hang out and do this, that, or the other. But it all starts to me with that introspection, because if I'm not understanding where I am at, then the way that I interact with the world isn't going to be optimal, because that's often when you find that people are like kind of short or kind of curt with you or whatever, and it might not even be anything that you've done, but it's like that person might be under a whole lot of stress, and you just kind of have to go, okay, I understand, like, so those are the kind of things that I've done to really be in tune with myself. So like I check in with myself like in my brain to say, where are you at? How are things going? What are things looking like? Because again, I'm a completer. So if I'm seeing my email like and I have my phone over here and I have all of these notifications and I'm just like, what is stuff that I need to deal with right now? What is stuff that is just noise?
Yeah. No, that
I
makes
have to be
sense.
okay with that.
Finding a way to prioritize, right? What's the stuff that needs to get done immediately? What are the things that aren't important? Yeah, no, I get that.
Right. So as an example, I'll give you a great example. Like these last couple days. So Saturday, I was over by you for Extra Life until 10 o'clock. I came home, think I cooked something, and then I immediately went to bed. Sunday, I got up, a bunch of house stuff. I did everything that I could to like prepare for the week. And then we had a thing that we had to do. So I was gone like all night and I couldn't do any other stuff. Then yesterday, I basically worked 10 hours. I got on my exercise bike, I showered, and I went to bed. Like today, I got up, I worked 10 hours, I ate dinner, I came down here to this podcast. That's going to change come the first week of December, because instead of working these like 10-hour days, I'm probably going to be back to my normal 8-hour days, which will be nice. But I know that just based on volume and my own personal sanity, like could I work my 8-hour days? Sure I could, but my personal sanity would suffer. So I'm prioritizing kind of how I do these things to make life easier for future Brian. Then that also means that current Brian has to let some things go to the side for a minute.
Yeah, it's important, and that's where it comes back to knowing yourself, right? Is knowing what you can put aside and what you can put up with and what you can't. When are those moments when you have to make a decision? I fully intended to not stream at all this week. By the time I got done with everything on Sunday after 25 and a half hours, I was like, I just don't know that I've got it in me. Work has been a bear, and I got I'm technically on call every night until 6 o'clock all week long. Um, got all this extra work that needs to be done over the course of the next couple months before the end of the year. And sometimes you just need a freaking break. Like, I have not been ashamed of telling my boss, look, I need a mental health day. I just need to check out. I can't be here. I just can't do it. I need a day off. Because if I don't, I'm going to talk to somebody at work like I talk to people on my podcast, and that's probably not going to end well. My old boss would let me do that. New people, maybe not so much. So, I haven't been shy in that. And you guys know that I haven't been shy of saying, hey, I can't do the stream tonight. I'm just not there. I need a break. And we have to be able to do that. We have to be comfortable doing that. And I'm very thankful that I am able to be honest with my leader and just say, hey, look, this is where I'm at. I'm taking the day off. And my leader is 100% appreciative of that. In fact, she's followed up multiple times. Hey, where are you at now? How are you doing? Are things good? Are you moving in the right direction? Like, she's been completely on board and helpful with that as well, which is great. Even if she wasn't, I still take the time if I need it. Like, you give me that time, I'm going to take it when I need it. But we have to be comfortable with doing that, and we have to be comfortable with knowing when. Like, the last time I did it, I literally woke up. It might have been the night before. I think it was the night before. I looked at my schedule and I had one meeting. It wasn't even a meeting that I replied tentative to. I do that a lot, but this one I actually accepted. But I'm like, it's one meeting. I don't have to be there. I just told my team, I'm like, yo, I'm taking the day off. I need a day. I'm fried. I got a light day. Nothing's happening. I can do that and not feel bad. And it's just finding those areas, finding those small things that you can do. It's going to help you fill your bucket.
Right.
That's
and
the important thing.
I'll give you an example of filling the bucket, right? So now that you live redacted, number of minutes away from me, like every Sunday, what would I do? I would sit here for 2 to 3 hours and prep podcast stuff. Now, every Sunday, I leave my house at 10:30, 11 a.m. so I can spend the entire day with you. That's
Right.
awesome. I enjoy that. At that same time, then I try to find 3 hours in the rest of my fucking nuts ass week to do this podcast stuff. Right? But that's where we're making this decision that it's more valuable to spend that in-person time with you running flash drafts on DraftKings,
Oh,
not a
so much fun.
sponsor.
They should sponsor us. Yeah.
But like, that's the kind of stuff where it's like, I'm as I've gotten older, I've really mentioned age a lot. Oof. But like, as I've gotten older, I've become the kind of person that, like, I don't need to prep as much. Like, I'm gonna come on here and stuff's gonna fall out of my mouth hole. That's what it is.
That's
like,
pretty much what it is. Yeah.
so that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I do at work. Like, I log onto this computer, or I see somebody and they say, hey, here's a question, and I go, blah, 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 blah. Did that make sense? Okay, cool, great. Like, and that's
Yeah.
it is what it is, and I have to be okay with that.
I think the moral of the story is that we all have to protect our own happiness, our own mental health, our own well-being, because nobody else is going to do it for us, right? We have to do that. We have to stand up for ourselves. We have to say no when we have to say no, right? So it's up to us to do that. So I hope that all of you do that. I don't know if what we said has been inspiring or uplifting or flashed any ideas in your mind, or maybe the links do, but hopefully you're able to take a second or two and just think about yourself and where you're at and what are some of those things. Even if things are freaking amazing, maybe they can be more amazing. How do you make them more amazing, or how do you spread that amazing to somebody else who maybe isn't feeling amazing? And that's another one that you could add to the list. So
I feel like that's Gonzi's Tinder pitch now. So if you want to spread some stuff to Sconzi, please, nothing bad, you can find him on Amazon Sidewalk. But to end this conversation, what I was going to say before you throw me to my
extra time,
extra point,
extra something,
is that we each get 168 hours in the week. We get no more, we get no less, except for those weird daylight savings time weeks, right? You have to make the most of those hours. You have to also be realistic on what you can do in those hours. Your life depends on it. You are important. You're important to me. You're important to other people in your circle. So make sure you are prioritizing you.
Good point. That sounded like an extra point, but it wasn't, so we're going to send it
What?
over to Landmark's Extra Point.
Oh, in the extra point business this evening, I would like to talk about one Henry Ruggs. For those of you who don't know who Henry Ruggs is, he is an individual who was an NFL wide receiver until recently when he was driving over 150 miles an hour while intoxicated and killed a woman and her dog. Now, this is obviously a very tragic story. There are a lot of people who are like, lock this man up and throw away the key. There are even some people who are like, if he's an alcoholic, like, I don't feel like he should go to jail. Now, as I thought about this situation, I recall a conversation that I recently had with Old Man Wiggum. And we were talking about the incarceration system in the United States and how, at its best, that should be a place for rehabilitation. We've kind of lost that in that feeling here, but in a case like Henry Ruggs, this is really about rehabilitation. This man made a terrible mistake, whether it is intentional, whether it was because he has a addiction to alcohol. Like, we don't know all of the details. We never will. But he did was he killed a person. He should be held responsible for that. He should be required to serve the time that brings with it. And hopefully, he will be able to acknowledge his mistake, learn from his mistake, help others to lift themselves up in the future, right? That's the goal here. It's not to say, well, because of X, Y, and Z, he shouldn't be this, or to say, he's a fucking piece of shit. You should just lock him up forever, right? Like, let's stop living at the extremes. Look at this dude as a human being and say, dude, you fucked up. If you're willing to acknowledge that and try to move forward, you need to serve your time. You need to repent. You need to take care of this, because what you did took a person away from their family that they are never getting back. And there's nothing you can do to change that. The only thing that you can do with the remaining days, months, and weeks of your life is to try to make a difference from here on out. So I didn't get to put that one on the run sheet because, me doing work stuff. But I wanted to get some thoughts out there on that. So, Sconzi, I don't know if you got thoughts on that, but that's what I got this week.
Yeah, I've got thoughts on that, but I think I'm going to not share them because I feel very, very strongly about this situation. And my extra point is not going to be about whatever his name is, Henry Ruggs or whatever. So there was a concert over the weekend that some of you may have heard about. This Travis Scott guy, who's a rapper, R&B guy or something. A bunch of people died. This was on our wheel, but it did not come up. A bunch of people died. And there's a lot of talking going on about what happened, who's responsible. This Travis Scott guy apparently has a history of having very questionable decisions as far as his venues and the way that he does things, the way he speaks to people, whatever. I have some thoughts about Travis Scott as well, but that's neither here nor there. So I spent a bunch of time this weekend. Maybe it was on Monday, might have been Sunday, maybe it was yesterday. One day or the other. I was just kind of smoking a cigar, and I was just paging through Reddit, and there was a lot of people that were posting video clips of concerts where people stopped something from happening. Post Malone, who says, hey, this person passed out, we need to stop, stops in the middle of a song. Stop, we need to help this person. Billie Eilish, who's like, oh my God, we're stopping the music, this person fainted, are you okay? She grabs a bottle of water and helps him out. There There was a couple where there was one with Tim McGraw where some guy was doing things to a woman that she didn't want done, that he shouldn't have been doing, and he stops the song, he calls him out, they yank him up on stage, he draw back, almost punches the guy. Like there's a lot of this kind of stuff. And I found some other stuff. There was a video of a streamer. I'd seen this one before. But it was one where this is a guy who spends a lot of time in Japan, and he could tell that this woman who was walking past him was walking with someone she didn't want to walk with. Somebody was with her that was making her uncomfortable, and he inserts himself into the conversation. Hey, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Sends the guy in his way, and the woman is incredibly thankful because this is a person that had been following her for however long. The point is, a lot of different stories. A lot of stories of people helping other people. A lot of stories of people who put themselves in a position where they weren't expecting to be. Now, what Tim McGraw stopping a concert, the worst thing in the world? No, but clearly his anticipated goal there was to sing a song, not to have to stop his concert because some guy is being an asshole and touching women in ways that he has absolutely no right to be doing. But he did it. He stopped and said, let me help this person. This guy in the street in Japan is just there live streaming, doing a thing. And he was in a situation where something happened where he could intervene and help somebody. And he did it. I mean, think about the risk he has in that situation, right? Maybe this is just a couple who's fighting. Maybe this is somebody who's holding her at gunpoint, and now it's going to impact him negatively. Whatever the case may be, these are decisions where somebody needed help and somebody stepped in to help them. Now, there's a lot of concern about the Travis Scott thing and what he did or didn't do, and maybe he should have done, or other people that were there. But I really want to turn the focus. I mean, and the same thing with Henry Ruggs or whatever the hell his name is. We could definitely go down the issue there. But I really wanted to frame this, and this kind of goes back to our conversation, which is part of the reason why that was top of mind, is frame this in a positive point of view, which is there's a lot of opportunities for all of us in different points of our lives, different points of our day, where we have an opportunity to help somebody, whether maybe it's as simple as just reaching out a helping hand. Maybe it's just as simple as, hey, I haven't spoken to you in a few months. I just wanted to check in and see if you're okay. You know, swing by and see a friend or a relative or a parent that you haven't seen in a while, and just, I just want to stop in and say hi. There's all these little things that we can do. Sometimes the big things present themselves, and we have to stand up, and we have an opportunity to stand up and do something there. The important thing is that in the end, we talk about a lot of stuff in this podcast, and a lot of it is stuff that maybe we don't agree with, Aaron Rodgers being a dick and all that. But we're all still here together. Right. And I think that the more that we can look for things that bring us together, the things that we have in common, the better off we'll be in the long run. Because we clearly have a lot of people who are fighting very, very hard to tell us all the ways that we're different and all the reasons we should hate each other. And I think the more time that we can spend looking for the things we have in common and looking for the reasons we should love one another, the better off we're all going to be. And that's what I got, B.
Very nice. So, if you would like to love Sconzi, you can find him on Twitter at Sconzi. You can find us on Twitter, AQ_PROD. I'm at LandmarkMKE. You can also find us on Facebook. You can find us on your favorite podcast app. As always, you can find Sconzi on Amazon Sidewalk. You can find him on Tinder and all of those other sites where the eligible men who look like Guy Fieri go to find their whatever delicacy they want. So, but until next time, we want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thanks to all of you who participated, not only in this podcast, but Sconzi's extra live stream, because it was awesome, except, for that time I had to eat cottage cheese. But I'm Landmark. That's Sconzi. We will catch you next time.
See you later, everybody.
Man, Wiggum really like the broccoli. Yum, yum, yum.
There we out.
The way my internet didn't die again. Woo!
Hey! Oh, I don't need to knock on wood. It's already done. Yeah. No broken internet is good stuff. Well, thanks for visiting and hanging out for the podcast, y'all. That was, I think that was a pretty decent podcast. Except, I didn't record it again, but hopefully YouTube records this one, unlike Extra Life.
That's right.
I think it probably will.
It just couldn't handle when I said that the mustard tasted like the egg farts.
Why is that showing up on Brian's head? That's kind of funny.
Oh, look at that.
That's amazing.
Before you put the final nails in my woke mob cancel culture coffin, I will bid you all adieu.
All right, B. I'll catch you later, Ben.
I already saw the apex up there, so I know what's
I was loading it up in the background. I don't know why it showed up over your face.
Just like, you out! Goodbye!
That was funny.
All right, well, you have fun. Let's see. I don't know Apex well enough to make an Aaron Rodgers joke.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something there. I'm done with Aaron Rodgers. Let's move on.
It's like, are you the jump master? Well, I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know either. He probably wouldn't use my character because my character wears a mask. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, punching. All right. Well, we'll talk to you soon, and you all have a great week.
Have a good night, B.
Bye.
Later. Are you the gatekeeper? Because I am the key master. Oh, Z-dubs. I'm going to join the old streaming Discord channel right there with the dubbers. What's up, dubbers?
Gonzi.
What's up, bro?
Huh?
What's up?
Not much, just taking care of my puppy.
What's wrong with your puppy?
Oh, so we got Teddy. He was a rescue.
Uh-huh.
His teeth were already kind of funky, for lack of a better
Right,
word.
yeah, I remember you had a bunch of stuff you had to go through.
Today was cleaning day, so his wasn't as extensive as Carter's. He only needed a couple of teeth pulled.
Gotcha.
And then he got a cleaning, but he's very, I don't know what the word is.
Have a good night,
I don't know
Wiggs.
if he's angry at me or if he's just kind of blah because of that anesthesia.
Oh, gotcha.
But he's looking at me over there,
Giving you the stink eye.
giving me the stink eye like I'm a complete a-hole.
I mean, he's not. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. A day after my birthday. Here we go.
Hey, I didn't say it on your birthday. That's the kind of guy I am.
Whatever. You might as well have. Why don't you stick the knife in a little deeper?
You know what, Z-dubs? If you just join my squad here so we can shoot some
I
people.
don't know if I want to join your squad. I think I'm going to play Apex by myself.
Fine, I'm just going to ready up then.
All right, cool. Ooh. Goodness.
My big light decided to unregister itself on my computer for some reason. I don't know how that happened
That's weird.
or how to fix it. I thought I was going to have to stream without the light, but it was still connected to my phone app for some reason. So I don't know how that works. Want to play pubs or you want to play ranked? Do you want to play arenas? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, let's do some of that.
Ugh.
How do you really feel? Am I going to have any audio? I don't even have music. What's going on? Oh, we got audio. Okay. Oh, by the way, I didn't want to throw it out there. But anybody could see it if they went to the Extra Life page. But after the stream was done, I did get a $69 donation from Z-Dub's dad.
Wow.
It didn't like you talking shit about it.
Yeah.
I'm at work now.
Who's that?
That's that's my girlfriend. She's in the background yapping, you know, like she does. No, that's our third.
Oh,
Got an
okay.
open mic.
So my father, who's been dead for 44 years,
Donated
made us
$69.
$69.
Yeah, I thought it was very impressive. I was very happy.
Oh, Joe really is an asshole.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was making a play off of his, you know, your daddy Mirage, but you know, whatever.
Well, that reminds me, I gotta order somebody's Christmas present.
This is your champion.
Is it Joe? Are you gonna get him that box of like moose poop or whatever?
No, I'm getting my former supervisor, Sandy, coffee cup. It's a really cool one.
Nice. I'm open. Take us to victory.
Right.
Just know that I'm super trash, so you know you got that. I warned him. Now he knows. Does this show our rank on here? Oh, okay, so he's ranked. Dude, his team name is Dubs. It's meant to be.
And break.
Attention. First blood.
I got a hemlock. I'm probably gonna drop as soon as I can. If you want it.
I guess we are.
Sorry, I was mid-sip. Maybe.
Hemlock here.
Actually, never mind. I found a car.
Oh, you know what? Let's do this.
What'd you get?
Optics here. Close range.
Oh, yes.
What are you wearing?
Oh Jesus.
Lots of things.
Oh, I'm just wearing my birthday suit.
Ah,
And your girlfriend.
suck.
Man, Dubs is pushing hard today. Wait, what's going on, Dubs?
Push you real hard.
Our guy probably muted himself.
Flatline here.
Take that.
That's your girlfriend?
Yeah, that's my wife.
She sounds hot.
Thanks, man. She is hot.
I'm totally messing. Sorry.
You're good, man.
Champion
Attention.
How the mighty
Skunzy doesn't like it when I do that voice.
Nobody likes it when you do that voice.
What the fuck? Oh, that was a weird glitch.
Optics here. Mid-range.
What is that with my shit?
Which way are you guys going?
I
Yeah,
need
you're
energy
still
ammo.
over there.
Yeah, we're still over here. Not sure what he's doing. I think he's having a problem with his,
Energy ammo here.
Get in there with your hands.
Now she's playing Fallout right now.
Fallout. What's Fallout?
It's that one where you're in a vault.
I should know
You know
this.
what I'm talking about.
I don't. I should. I mean, it sounds familiar, but I can't place it. What the hell is it? Why am I pulling a blank Fallout game? Oh, Fallout. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Fallout.
I never played Fallout.
I played once, but I didn't particularly care
On
for
the
it.
other side.
Yeah, I was really excited when Fallout New Vegas, I think, came out. And so I bought the game, and I even bought the big game book to, you know, help me because I'm dumb. And I played it for like half an hour, and I'm like, I hate it. I don't want to play it. Like,
Yeah.
I gave the book to Big Mike because he was super jacked about playing it.
See, that's kind of like where I'm at. I know what I like to play, so I'm loath to try stuff that's different than that.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things I love about Game Pass, you know, is
Yeah. You can try a bunch of stuff out.
yeah.
Hold on. My allergies are bad right now. And I gotta stop sitting on my foot. Wish Teddy would stop looking at me. Those puppy dog eyes. When I went to pick him up from the vet, he wouldn't walk, so she was carrying him.
Oh
And he
man.
was just looking at me like, you asshole.
That
Because it's always me who takes him to the vet.
makes sense.
Hopefully now that Patty's gonna work weekend program, she can start doing that shit so he can be mad at her.
Could use a bit of energy, Mag.
Me too.
Bet his wife could use a bigger energy mag.
Jesus Christ, Stubbs.
I'm kidding, I'm sorry.
Lord.
That's terrible. He seems like a good guy, this one.
Yeah, seems alright. We get so many assholes. Oh, Ben gives a boosted loader
Boosted
to his
loader.
wife. No, I'm sorry. That's bad.
You're bad, you're nasty. How dare you?
I'm an asshole. I know. Where are we at in relation to the ring? We're kind of centralized.
I got the last 2 pictures for my office.
Emily, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.
I changed my mind.
Yeah? What are they?
Well, it's the one, it's Yoda and do or do
Oh,
not,
yeah.
there is no try. And then the other one is Vader holding up the guy, saying, strong people don't bring other people down, they lift them up.
I like it.
I love it. It's going to be perfect.
Like, you know, I was like a girl. I wasn't natural.
I was like a girl. I like that description. I was like a girl, but
Not a girl, just like a girl.
right? Not. That's exactly what you like to hear from your significant other. I was like a girl, but not.
Surprise!
Your
Yeah,
wife's got a
right?
secret to tell you.
I've been missing some shit this whole time. Take it back, woman. Take it back.
I don't know if any of you guys can use that.
Located over here. Level 2.
I'll let you have that. It's like, since I'm using triple tick as a sniper.
Sounds good, Will.
Well,
Thought I saw someone over that way.
We'll find something here.
Not seeing it now though, so I might be seeing things.
let me see if I can see anything up top.
Oh yeah, scrapping. But
I don't see anything.
I like caps. Caps translates into more stem packs, which means I die less. I like that. Good time.
Hats?
She's very animated over there, that one.
I'll give your wife credit. She really gets into the game she plays.
Beginning ring
Oh no, for
countdown.
sure. Like that is
Inside the next ring.
an understatement. Like if you could see our collect, like first off, you probably wouldn't think we were gamers because
Delivering
I'm in pretty good
replicator.
shape and like I said, she's
Ah.
a pretty good looking girl with like rainbow hair. And But her collection
Extended energy
for
mag located
Fallout
over here.
is absurd.
Level 2.
Like every single bobblehead, 2 Pip Boys, the masks, like fucking. I got her $600 fucking statue that has interchangeable parts, where she can make it a male, female, put the power armor together.
Crazy.
Our apartment looks like a fucking museum
It-
of nerds,
you,
so it's pretty
you-
funny.
you probably wouldn't be able to tell I'm a gamer. Well, except for the fact that I live in my mom's basement. And I'm 46 years old.
Hey, 'cause I can't say that I've never lived in my parents' place, so
I actually am kidding. I have my own house.
I was like, hey, you never know, man. On here, you never fucking know. So,
Although my mother-in-law does live with me.
hey, like, at least it balances out, though, right? Does that still technically count?
Oh, 'cause she doesn't pay any bills.
Level 2.
Shield over here, Dubs.
This place was definitely picked through. Let's go. I guess if we turn around, we go see the same shit we just came from.
Where was it? The small building? Or the...
This is right here.
Open supply bin over here.
Okay. Got it, thanks. Perfect, thank you.
Yes, sir.
My allergies have been really bad the past few days.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, dude.
I wonder if that's what I'm dealing with. 'Cause I told you I felt like I had a cold for a couple weeks on and off, but it really feels like allergies just right in my nose.
Yeah, my nose has this tickle that just won't go away.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Every morning, and then every morning I wake up and it's, not to be gross, but it's all like crusty.
Mm.
Which is usually a sign that it's allergies, so.
You want to go check out the domes to the right?
Sure, let's go.
Could have something good here.
I think I'm gonna give this guy a friend request. I kind of like this guy.
Ah. And his group name is Dubs.
Right? Like, come on. What more do you need?
Go to the far dome.
Attention, delivering care package.
The rewards in that care package could be a deciding
Your
factor.
package out there.
Heavy ammo here.
Ooh. Sorry, Flatline. Switching you out.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that guy be.
Y'all see, y'all see any light ammo?
Absolutely. I'm going over towards the drop.
Man, it's crazy. 4th place and we haven't seen a single person.
Works great when you're as bad as I am.
No one has claimed the drop yet, by the way.
Yeah, I was to say, I mean, I'm kinda down if y'all are. Let me get some light ammo in me and then, yeah.
Beginning ring countdown.
Celebrate the lovely stuff.
Attention,
Light ammo here.
delivering replicator.
Replicator coming in, mates.
Alright, let's go. Get that drop. Stupid beasts.
It is kind of weird that we haven't seen a single person.
Yep. You got a prowler on my ass. Yeah, he left.
Light ammo here.
Only 2 other squads remain.
G-Scout? Ooh, I will take this.
Oh, He's gone.
Oh, I can't use it. Never mind. Okay.
There's a gold sniper optic there as well. We're dead in the middle of the circle almost.
We are. Should I send him a friend request in the game? Send friend request. Done.
Where's the next? Is there a base over here? If it was to collapse in, it's probably gonna collapse in over here. Yeah, let's go inspect this area because there's a lot of unopened bins and shit. See if we can get some better armors.
What, Laura? No, she's working late tonight. So she'll be home
Shield battery here.
whenever she gets home. Oh, she's actually on the way. She had to stop at Walgreens and pick up his prescription, so
Inside the next ring.
she did text me.
And that works out too because I was right
The delta in our favor.
sitting over here. So if you want to place your traps everywhere over here for the final combat.
It'll think something that give it.
It's funny.
Light ammo here.
Pretty sure I see an armor
Backpack
fucking
here.
far out there.
Level 2.
Where are these other teams? Like,
No idea, man.
we gotta start seeing them soon, cause
Oh, never mind. It's a beast.
Gas trap deployed. Placing gas trap.
Enemy over there. Just waiting to be
Oh my god, we're in the ring.
Independent variable added.
Alright, let me get up there, y'all.
yeah, it's a full squad.
Not all of us are
Where are
inside
they?
the ring.
Are you pinged?
Not all of us are worthy of continuing.
Yeah, right at that building.
I see him.
Beware. I've added a variable.
Yo, mate. Got one there.
The other team's
Oh,
just
there's
coming
another
through
one?
that. Yeah, they're coming through that crack.
Enemy over there. Just waiting to be stepped
I'll keep an eye on the ones on the left.
Got a fool
They
in
should.
the
They're starting to try and take each other out. Yeah, just let it happen.
I'll cover for you, mates. It's an enemy. Didn't even have to take off my jacket.
Adding another gas trap.
Honestly, once we see that drop I'm tempted to start going over there.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Let's go.
It's like they're damaging each other hard.
It's down to one squad.
Here, I
Okay,
can.
let's go.
There we go.
Let's do it.
Arcstar delivered. Throwing frag.
I'm not sure where they're even at.
One. Where are they? Shit, it wore off.
Yeah, we dropped it too soon.
Well, we're outside the circle.
Soon to follow.
Yeah, we should probably head back. We should probably head back and
Get
let them
back in
come to
the
us.
circle.
Yep, I agree.
Can you keep an eye out,
My
Dubs?
bad, y'all.
Oh,
Must have backed up far enough.
I'm gonna do a bunch of things now that I got a Spitfire.
Attaboy.
Oh,
Already got
see-
the.
Oh shit!
Already got the building loaded up, so we might as well hang out there.
Saw me.
Getting shot at. Fighting.
Variable for the lab rats.
Reloading. Ring countdown. Good. Inside the next. Giving my shields a recharge.
Especially if it's combat one.
Move that trap so I can get in. Oh,
Should be able to
thanks.
get in.
Never mind. Shit, they popped your trap.
Gas trap deployed. I still see everything.
Heating up. Hold on.
Moving a gas trap behind.
Here, come up here, y'all. If I can make it.
Trap set and waiting. Just shut it. Spotted one. Spotted the subject.
Valk's
I broke
almost
her
one
shield.
shot.
Tossing thermite.
Damn, just missed. There's a charge rifle out there. On this side.
Let's move to this sector. Trap set and waiting.
There's one close and one far.
Damn it. Down. Hold on, I'm coming down.
Fortunate we're on the same team.
They're pushing.
She's right here.
Nice.
Oh wait, that's last.
GG, Joe.
Hell yeah. Game,
Good game.
only having to kill one team. Hell yeah.
You
And
are
we
the
only have one
Apex
shield.
champions.
Way to do it.
Oh, they're mad.
I killed the kill leader too.
Nice.
Not gonna lie, that was satisfying.
That was so satisfying. One game, one win, right? Oh snap, ranked up.
Ranked up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Joe's gonna be on tonight. We could invite that guy back.
Invite him.
I sent him an invite. We'll see if he accepts. GG's Caustic.
No, I'm just I'm going through the stuff that I got, the different
Okay.
whatchamajiggers.
That's fine.
You know the whatchamajiggers.
What
Not to be confused. Not to be confused with doohickeys.
With
or
thingamabobs.
The thingamabobs.
Yeah,
Yep. I
yeah.
was just gonna say the thingamabobs.
All right, I'm gonna give him another 5 or 10 seconds, then I'm just gonna ready up.
Oh, I actually do for my dailies. I need to use caustic twice, so whenever though.
Yeah,
it doesn't
he's
have
yours.
to be now.
Actually, I'm gonna give him the time it takes me to write down my new challenges.
Okay.
Pistols. Shit. Sure, I cleared that one off, didn't I? Yeah. All right, I need.
Sure what that was.
Yeah, you can use caustic. I've got some other people that I
Okay.
need to use. So
Okay, thanks. You're a real treat.
thanks.
I'm just being smartass. You know what I really want to do? This is gonna sound weird. Take a pipe cleaner and just run it through my sinuses. Just
You know, since we started talking about that, now my head hurts and my nasal
Oh,
passages
gosh.
are all weird.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
That's
to
fine.
jinx you.
No, it's been like 2 weeks, and I think it's felt more like sinuses than a cold. So maybe, you know, if you're having sinus issues, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
That would make more sense.
in fact.
The Grinch. Alright, who do I want to play with? I'm gonna use Fuse since you're using
Death is not
caustic.
mercurial.
There you go.
It's patient. Unlike life.
Let's make those drop kicks crab their dacks.
Hey, he's got a tattoo on his neck like I had this weekend.
Introducing your champion.
C-dubs. Oh, guess not.
Hold on, fellas. I never did finish Jump Master training.
I think I'm gonna hold on to it this time.
Wait.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's funny.
land there. Looks like fun. Can I? Oh, how's the serenity? What do you think is over here?
Bird's eye.
There's a team going to the other building.
Okay.
Round one. Beginning ring countdown.
Shield here. Level 2.
I don't want this bow chair.
Firing. Getting shot at. Reload.
Knocked one.
Subject down. Reloading.
Evo shield here. Level 2.
Shields are recharging.
I knocked a teammate, but they got her back up.
Okay. I'm running heavy or light? I'm running heavy.
Trap set and waiting.
What's the over-under on how many times I shoot my knuckle cluster into the corner because I'm trying to place a caustic trap?
New kick. Must go faster. What do you say we move here? Enemy over there. Knuckle cluster out.
Oh, sounds like you did it right that time.
I did. I was prepped for it.
There's a beautiful jump pad.
The Grinch and I are starting to.
Oh. You going around or where are you going?
Yeah.
Oh my god, look at all this heavy ammo.
Spotted the subject right here.
Taking fire. One more minute. It's go time. Shooting the frag. Frag for it. Shooting the frag. Launching me knuckle. Reloading.
Damn it. One shot. The free kill, Grinch. They're going away. They're popping a shield.
Keep crawling towards me.
10 seconds till ring close. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Throwing thermite. Recharge
This way,
shields.
Scanty.
I was gonna hit the jump pad.
Oh,
You are fortunate we are on the same team. We are all outside of the ring. Administering medical aid.
Reloading. Getting health back.
Noxious. Getting shot at.
Healing up. You'll be right. Charging up my shields.
Healing my wounds.
Drop in the mother load. Pop your brolies, boys.
Recharging shields.
we get them all?
No, there's still one around somewhere.
And I don't think they're selling cookies.
You see any energy ammo? Let me know.
Energy ammo here.
Oh, look at that.
Faster, faster, faster.
See an optic if you could let me know. Pretty sure there's still one around, but God knows where the fuck they are.
We ought to go here. They're far.
And there's a
Oh, they're
race
getting their
up
team med up.
here.
Bottle here.
Gonna put a thing next to that race portal.
Deploying a variable.
That's done.
Getting
I need
shot at.
optics for an SMG.
Oh, they're behind us.
Must go faster.
Enemy spotted.
Our guy's pushing down, so I say we head down there. Into the building.
R99 here. She's fast like me.
Taking fire.
Healing. Give me a sec.
Administering medical aid.
Good dog.
Buster out.
I almost dropped a trap upstairs, except I don't have traps.
God damn it! Oh, I knocked loose Lenroy Jenkins.
I locked myself.
Oh, wow.
That got ugly in a hurry.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, it did. Yes, it did. Beard face man guy.
Man guy.
my kind of dude right there.
Valkyrie on station, ready for anything. Hell.
Ineptitude is the true killer.
Walter Fuse Fitzroy, at your bloody service.
This is your champion.
You know what I look like. Come find me. I'll break your heart, and then I'll break everything else. Maybe next time, you should try a different path.
Bloody hell, you look like bloody hell.
Don't worry. There was no way out of this.
Time for a little shock and awesome. I'm Jump Master. Let's give this a blast, eh?
Let's land over
Taking
there.
orders for after the game, fellas. We talking what? 60 steaks?
Did he really give off the thing and then pick a spot? I'm going over here.
Oh, so why?
What do you say we move here?
First blood? You won't even passing out before even taking a sip.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know if you can drop through the top here or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Take a look once I get in here. Apparently you guys didn't want to join me.
Well, I just figured I would spread out so that we could all have
That's fine.
opportunity for loot. That's all.
Looks like you can drop in
And
from the far side.
in my defense, I did check beforehand, and we did not have any other teams here, so
Cool.
I figured
Yeah,
it was safe.
I saw we had, we were the last one in the jump ship for quite a while, so figured we were probably fine.
Evo shield here. Level 3.
He already has one, so
Oh shit, alright.
Hands off, that's a prezi for
I'll
Fuse.
take it.
figured you would. Beard man face guy.
Crafting over here. Love hearing you say that.
I am crafting.
I am crafting.
He's like the least charismatic person ever.
He really is.
I am crafting. He sounds like Frankenstein.
Would love a backpack. Fire please.
It's almost like they were sitting in their rooms figuring out who their new guy is going to be, and they're like, you know, we need someone that makes Caustic sound cheery. That's what they came up with.
You kill leader
Good
out
luck
there.
back there,
What a
beard face man
go-getter.
guy.
One minute until the nearby ring closes.
A shotgun bolt, I guess, is what's grabbing.
You see a car you don't want, let me know.
Okay.
The ring isn't very far. 45 seconds remain before closure.
Need an extended heavy mag. Ring's close, and it's a good thing. Only have 30 seconds left.
Got some
I
crafting to
need
do.
an extended heavy mag.
Hold up, almost done crafting.
Ring's close. 10 seconds. Hold on to your knickers.
Warning. Ring movement in progress.
Rep, spoiler alert. I found the next
Oh
ring.
yeah, I forgot I
Check your
gotta load
maps.
up on grenades with this dude, hey.
like it's not been looted.
Okay.
Attention. Delivering care package.
Got me one good eye on this spot here.
Incoming care package. Pro tip, don't try grabbing something moving at that trajectory.
Optics here. Close range.
These crates have been looted in the metal.
Shotgun ammo here. Open supply bin over here.
Optics here. Sniper.
Yeah, all this shit's pretty well looted, hey?
Sniper stock here. Level 3.
Hey, guess who's not caustic?
I'm guessing that's you.
Yep.
Hey,
Sorry, I
Scanzi, by
forgot
the
I'm
way,
not caustic.
you're not caustic.
Thanks.
Extended heavy mag here. Level 2.
That's mine.
Extended light mag here. Level 2.
Fuck today. Made it through the whole last game. This one, not so much. Man, I might have to call it an early night. My head's starting to bug me.
Okay.
We're gonna have to go through Jurassic Park. Maybe we could sneak. What if we snuck around this way?
Reckon we should go here.
Yeah, I don't know. We should wait and see where the circle goes anyways, because this one's not closing for another minute.
No, but we already know because he marked it. He scanned it.
Gotta hop up here.
Oh.
Hell.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, then we might as well just go.
One half of the squads remain.
Plus, then we're not pushing right into the heat of it, right? We can kind of sneak around the outside.
Mhm.
Around the outside.
Backpack here. Level 2. Car SMG here.
Lots of light and heavy in here.
Gotta hop up here. Boosted loader.
Round 2.
Need an extended heavy mag.
Countdown.
Next ring is far. Victory is further still.
Attention. Delivering replicator.
Got an open supply bin here.
Replicator incoming.
Gravity cannon here. Let's employ it.
Dub says, I'm out of here.
Well, this gets us... It literally gets us into the circle.
Does indeed.
Gas trap deployed.
Oh, here, Scanzi.
I'm going around.
We're trap set and waiting. Leaving a gas trap behind. Placing gas trap.
They sound close, right?
They do. I don't see them though, so I'm thinking they might be around the right there. essentially. I don't see him.
Looking for sniper ammo. Optics here. Mid-range.
Hello, boys.
Oh, it's Joe.
Hey, Joe. Just in time.
Just about to leave? Or are you just about to
Well, Skanzi's thinking about it because he's not feeling well.
Oh, dang.
They're quite a ways off, though. Yeah, I might just stop streaming and see if that helps without the lights on, and give that a shot. I don't know.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not good.
Care package being delivered.
Beard face man guy left.
Don't try grabbing something moving at that trajectory.
He left. Okay.
Death box over here.
All right.
Targeting the next ring, people. It's sent to your maps.
Oh, okay. I see what he was doing.
We can cruise over there.
That takes us right into the circle.
Very nice. Joe, how was Taco Tuesday?
Enemy spotted. Far.
Dude, I'm stuffed.
Did you go? You said you were hanging out with friends.
Over there.
Did you
Yeah, we
go
just
like
went
to
to
their
their house.
place or? Okay.
Yeah, we just went to their house and they made tacos and margaritas. So
Nice. I need friends like that, Z-Dubs.
Find ourselves inside the next ring.
I need friends like that, Cito.
Deploying a very
Yeah, I mean the key to that, Skanzi, is
Yeah, you might want to slide those back more, Dubs.
variable for the labyrinth.
the
got
key to
that.
that is I went to their house, you know. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Trap set. And waiting.
Well, that'll be a good one if they come around the corner.
Dude, I love that. I put them right in there. 'Cause they always push up here. They're never going to see those.
Gas trap
Till it's too late.
Talion bandit out there.
Oh, yeah, they're pushing this way.
We can scan this area.
I think.
firing on subjects.
Yeah, full clip. Not a shot.
Healing my wounds.
Recharging shields.
Recharging shields. Taking fire.
Mind your heads.
I got shot it a little bit too far.
Juicing me shields.
Administering medical aid.
They're pushing.
Joker there. Serving him a knuckle sandwich.
Shields are recharging.
Charging him.
My vision is clear. Beware. I've added a variable.
Being shot at. Launching me arc star. Launching me arc star.
there.
Spotted one.
Opening fire. Safe to touch down. We're already in the next ring. Bandits hurting.
Those care packages likely shift the delta in our.
Frag Soren.
Reloading. We got another squad attacking us.
Lit.
We got another squad extending to engage.
Firing a frag.
One sec. Using my Phoenix kit.
Launching frag.
Ooh, that one hurt.
Serving them a knuckle sandwich. Juicing me shields. Going long.
How's my gas taste?
That was a good one. That was a very good one, Dubs.
God.
Oh, they're all fighting in there.
Damn, I got destroyed.
Wow.
I'm coming back by you guys, hopefully.
Yeah.
Recharging shields.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to get up there. No, I can't. Unless I go all the way out in the open.
Charging up my
Shit.
Ah, shit, there are two right there. There's two, one shield is cracked. They're getting their teammate up.
Put in some work with that rampage, man.
Oh, there's another team. We're getting third party like a bunch of mothers.
Yep. Oh god. It's never a good thing when you are popping a Phoenix while looking at an enemy.
Right. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break to talk to Patty. She just got home.
Okay. Be right back. Alright, chat. I'm gonna go ahead and shut down for the night. I know it's a little bit earlier than normal. I'm really feeling off. I feel very sinusy. I don't know what the deal is. So I might play a couple more with the guys, but I'm probably just gonna go sit on the freaking couch and veg out to a movie or something. So thank you for being here. I appreciate all your support. I think we had a great podcast tonight. A lot of good topics, a lot of people, a lot of back and forth, which is great. Nobody lost their ass, so that's good. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, we'll be back if I'm feeling better, which hopefully I will be. And we're going to hopefully wrap up It Takes Two, which is this amazing little platformer that my mod, Big Mike, and I started playing on our extra live stream this weekend. So much fun. So we're going to get together tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to wrap that puppy up. And then Thursday, probably back to some more Apex is my guess. So tomorrow, 7 o'clock Central Time. Thank you so much for all your support. I really appreciate it. I'm taking off. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.